Hey guys, my name is Em and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new reading vlog. I literally cannot stop smiling because I am so excited for this vlog, because in today's video I am going to be reading my most anticipated release of the entire year, of actually kind of 2 years. Basically, I have been anticipating this book since January 2022 and it is finally here, and I'm gonna read it and vlog it, and I'm so excited. Like, I literally cannot contain my excitement. So I'm sure you know exactly what book I'm talking about, but in case you do not, today is the release day of House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas, which is the third Crescent City book. I actually can't believe that this book is out today. Like, this is insane to me. This is so exciting, and my copy has literally just arrived in the post. I was waiting for it all morning and it has finally just arrived, and I'm gonna open it with you, and then I'm just gonna grab my annotation stuff and then I'm going to get straight into reading. I'm so incredibly excited. There will be spoilers in this video, guys. If you don't want to hear anything about this book, maybe put this video on pause, so do not watch this vlog if you have not read this book, because I will be spoiling things. Put it on pause, put it in your watch later, and come back when you have finished this book, unless you don't care about spoilers, in which case watch away. Okay, I'm gonna open it. I don't know why I'm nervous. Like, why? This is just a book, but like, it's also not just a book, if you get what I mean. First sneak peek of the book. Oh my god, she is thick. This is a thick book. Are we ready? Are we ready? I don't know if I'm ready, but also I'm so ready. Oh my god. This is crazy. Like, I'm literally holding the next Crescent City book in my hands, the newest Sarah J Maas book, to which I have no idea what's going to be in here. This is the only Sarah J Maas book that I have not read. Like, that's kind of crazy. She is so beautiful. Look at this. Like, that cover is stunning. I just know that this book is going to actually rip my heart out and just devastate me, but I cannot wait. Like, I'm so excited. I would check the page count, but also I don't want to spoil myself, so I won't do that. But let's look at the end pages. Oh my god, look at this. I actually have no words right now. Like, I genuinely do not have any words, because I can't believe that I'm holding this book in my hands. Like, I've waited so long for this moment, and now it's here. Obviously, I'm going to start this book right now and I'm going to read as much as I possibly can of it today, but I don't know if I want to like rush through it and like try finish it really quickly, or if I want to like savor it and kind of like take in all of the details and like take my time with it. I'm really not sure. I think we'll just go with the flow and see which I'm feeling, because also I'm keenly aware of like the fact that I've waited 2 years for this book, but like I'm probably gonna have to wait another 2 years for the next book, and it's probably gonna end on like a cliffhanger just as this one did. So I don't want to like rush through it too fast, but also like I need to know how this goes. And also I'm staying off social media as much as I possibly can, because I do not want to get spoilers. I do not want spoilers for this book. Oh my god though, like, this is stunning. Like, this is so pretty. But anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. I am going to go grab my annotation supplies, because I definitely do want to annotate this book. So I'm gonna grab my annotation things, lay them out, make myself a coffee, get all cozy and comfy, and then get straight into this book. I am literally so excited. Do I remember every single detail from the first 2 books? No, I've actually forgotten quite a bit. I read like a singular recap and like I kind of remember, and obviously I remember the ending, but also I'm not too pushed about remembering everything, because I will remember as I go. And like, also I'm never going to remember every single detail from like 800-page fantasy books anyways, so we're just gonna go with it. I'm finally ready to start reading. I got my like annotations pencil case together, so I'm going to show you what's in here, because I'm kind of honestly procrastinating starting this book a little bit, because I'm like scared to start it, because like the shit that's about to go down in this book is going to be insane. And also, like, once I've started this book, there is not a single Sarah J Maas book out there that I've not read. So that's kind of terrifying in itself, but also I've waited 2 years for this moment and I'm gonna start this book ASAP. But first, let me show you what's in my annotations pencil case. And honestly, I might do a like how I annotate video soon, or like kind of like an annotate with me video. Let me know if you would like to see that. This annotation system for this book will be slightly different to how I do it for like a regular book, because there's just so much involved in this book, and like I'm gonna annotate like so much out of it, so this is slightly different. But if you do want to see like a general how I annotate video, please do let me know. But yeah, let me just show you what's in the pencil case. First of all, like how good do these 3 books look together? Like they look so good. Anyways, so this is the pencil case that I have. I think I got it from Fairy Loot or Owl Crate like a couple years ago, and this is just like the OG annotations pencil case. So let's show you what's inside. So I have like these little tiny highlighters. These are so awkward to annotate with, but they're the most gorgeous like color. They're not like too pastel, so you can still see them, but they're not like really harsh colors either. Like I just love annotating with these. Then of course I have 2 packs of tabs. Probably will go through more of these, to be quite honest, because if you can see like my annotations from the past too, like that's intense. We're starting with 2 packs of tabs. We have my transparent sticky notes. I will be writing directly into the book, but it never hurts to have these just in case there's like something big that I need to write or whatever. My ruler, don't know where I got this, don't know what it is, probably got it like free in a magazine when I was like 10. Regular sticky notes, can't go wrong. Then I have my grey highlighter, which I just love so much. It's kind of pastel grey, so it's not like too dark or anything, and I love it so much. So I do have a couple of fine liners. I don't think I'm going to annotate like underline with these. I did in the past books, I underlined with these like according to like the color on the tabs. I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I think I'm just going to underline in black and then like possibly highlight them, but I kept a few in my pencil case in case there's like a few things that I want to like add color to or something. Then we have some more highlighters. These are the Muji highlighters. I recently went to Dublin and I discovered that they had a Muji shop, so obviously I bought some stuff, and when I say recently, it was actually in September, but that's recent enough. So yeah, these are the colors that I have. I have purple, grey, kind of like a burnt orange color, which is aggressive, and I would never really use this in books. However, like it matches to the cover like perfectly, so I feel like if there's ever a time to use this as an annotating highlighter, it's for this book. And then I also have yellow, which is not like a very harsh yellow at all, and then turquoise, which I probably won't use because it is very, very dark, but still slays. So yeah. Then I have my pink gel pen from Muji, which will not focus, but it is so cute. Don't know again if I'm going to actually underline with this or use this because I want to do it all in black, but possibly. And then I have my array of Muji pens. If you can't tell, I love Muji for annotating. So I've got this one, I've got this one, and then these 3 are the same, but they just have different like widths on them. We have a 0.38, we have a 0.5 and a 0.7, depends on like how much I want to fit on the page or whatever. So yeah, they are my annotation supplies. I am so excited to just get into this book. I'm going to start it right now. So I have just read the prologue, and obviously I won't be giving you an update at the end of every chapter because I feel like this vlog will literally be like 3 hours long if I do that, but I feel the need to update you after the prologue because it sets the tone for the whole book. Here's your last warning: if you don't want to be spoiled, do not watch further into this video. So in the prologue we have Lydia. She's with like the bad guys. I've literally forgotten half of like the magic system and stuff, so I'm just gonna go with what I remember, but like she is secretly a rebel on their side, but she's working with the Asteri and like the bad people, and her and Ruin kind of had the little thing in the last book, but now she's literally like torturing him because she has to like keep her act together that she's bad. But I feel like, how would you ever forgive someone who literally held you captive and like tortured you? We shall see at a little enemies to lovers moment. In the prologue we just basically saw Ruin and Hunt and Baxian, that they're being tortured, so that's their situation. Not the best for them. But now I'm gonna read chapter 1 and we're gonna be with Bryce, and we all know where Bryce is. Bryce is in Valaris right now, so I can't wait to see like a crossover between ACOTAR and this series. Like I actually can't believe it, and I can't like fully process how Sarah J Maas has managed to do this. Like, she is an actual genius when it comes to writing, because it's like, and I just love so much that these worlds are connected, because like Throne of Glass, ACOTAR and Crescent City mean so much to me, and the fact that like those characters can exist in the same place is just crazy. And like, what do we do if Aelin shows up in this book? Like, if Aelin shows up in this book, I think that that might be it for me. Like, I feel like life has hit its peak, and I hope that that happens, but I hope it's done in a good way. But then of course I have no doubts that it will be done in a good way, so we're just gonna see. I have no theories for this book. Sophia is also reading this right now, and like, we have been talking a little bit, and she is the one that comes up with the theories and stuff. I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee right now because I feel the need to get in the zone, and I feel like a coffee just amplifies cozy vibes anyways. So I'm gonna get a coffee right now, and then I'm gonna get straight back into this. I literally have my phone on do not disturb because I'm like, no one talk to me, nobody come near me. I am reading Crescent City 3 and that's where I'll be. So don't contact me, don't call my phone, because I will not answer. Okay, first 50 pages have been read. I am now on chapter 3. Of course I'm loving it. I've not gotten into it yet. Like, I know this, and I need to kind of remind myself that like Sarah J Maas books in particular, but like also just any kind of like fantasy book, take me a while to get into and to like actually get used to the world that we're living in, and like all of these words and all of these like magic systems and all of the characters. Like, there are so many characters in this book, and because it has been 2 years since I've read the second book and 4 years since I've read the first book, obviously I'm not going to remember every single character, so like it's just taking me a hot minute. I feel like once I get to the like 100-page mark, that should be okay. I should be like back into it. Usually it does take me like 100 pages in a fantasy book to kind of like get into the world and stuff. What I will say is that like, when we have any other chapter from a POV that is not Bryce, I don't care as much. And I know that that sounds awful because I love these other characters too, but like, I just don't care. Like, I just don't want to read the chapters from the other people's POVs right now, because Bryce is literally in Valaris with Rhys and Asriel and Amren, and soon to like have cameos with like Farah and Nesta, I'm sure. And like, I want to read those chapters. I don't want to read about like Tharion and the others. I'd be slightly more interested in reading about like Hunt and Ruin, but like, we're not really getting their chapters because they're like, you know, a bit tied up at the moment, literally. So I don't know, like, I just need to push through so that like all of the chapters are interesting to me, because I know that like the other like POVs are just like setting up for things. Like, I know this, and I know that Sarah J Maas has everything in it for a reason. I get that. I just want to read more about Bryce and Rhys and all of that. But yeah, because like literally I think the only times that I've annotated this book so far have been during Bryce's chapters, because I just don't particularly care about the other ones, and the chapters are so long that I'm just like, I need to get through this so that I can get to Bryce's chapters, you know? I've also sectioned this book into like the parts that this book is in. So part 2 is on page 269. Potentially that could be like my marker for today, to like read to page 269. I may not get to that point because there's a lot of information going on in this book, like a lot of information, and I'm reading very, very slowly, so I don't want to like rush through it, if you get what I mean. But yeah, that could be potentially my marker for today, or like at least the like 150. But I think I'm going to do live reading sprints right now. I've not done live reading sprints on my channel in like a year, I think. The last reading sprints that I did on my channel were literally 10 months ago. I did it on the 10th of March and I did them with Lucy. So I feel like I should do live reading sprints today. So I think I'm going to do that right now, honestly. And then I will get back to you guys when I have more of an update. Hi besties. Okay, it is now Wednesday and I want to give you the update for what I ended up reading yesterday. I never gave you a final wrap up before I went to bed last night. So yesterday I ended up making it to chapter 10, which is page 110, and it's definitely kind of picking up a bit now. Like, we're not fully into the plot yet, but like it is definitely more, I don't want to say interesting because it was never boring, but like I'm invested in kind of all of their POVs now more than I was before, and I feel like it will just continue to get more interesting and exciting as the book progresses. And also like as I get more used to the writing style and like used to being back in this world, I'll find it easier to read and get through. Today's goal is to potentially get to part 2. I would really like to get to part 2, which is like page 270, so I'd have to read like 160 pages. I feel like it could be possible. Like, it's only midday and I feel like it could be possible, so we shall see. That is kind of the one that I'm aiming towards, or at least like page 200. That would be kind of the goal. I think if I could read like 100 pages a day, that would be amazing. And then like as I get to the end of the book, I'm sure I'll read more than 100 pages in a day. I am still absolutely loving the crossover. Like we currently have Nesta and Bryce together and like trying to like find their way out of these like tunnels and stuff, and I just find that so interesting. Like it's crazy to read like Nesta and Bryce together, but I'm loving it so much. So yeah, I have my coffee here and I'm gonna just get back into reading, get straight into reading and read as much as I possibly can. I've already had a driving lesson this morning, so I was up and about quite early. I'm back now, I've had breakfast, and I do have to leave the house again probably around like 3, which is kind of annoying because I don't have that much time, but I'll be home like around 7ish, so I can read again for the evening. But yeah, I feel like I just need to like turn my phone on do not disturb and just read solidly. Also, I don't know if I told you, but I did download the book on my Kindle, which was such a move. Like it was such a good move because like last night when I was reading, I wanted to like lay down because I was tired, but I still like managed to read 5 more chapters because I could read it on my Kindle. So that was a really good idea. But yeah, I'm gonna try read it physically for the majority because obviously I do want to annotate this and I can't like annotate on my Kindle. Well, I can, but like I just don't bother. Okay besties, it's now later in the evening and I've just reached chapter 20, which is page 204. I am so glad that I've now like passed the 200 page mark because I feel like the first 200 pages of any fantasy book, but especially a Sarah J Maas book, are the slowest. So I feel like we're going to really get into it now. And in the last chapter we kind of had some sort of revelations about the history and stuff and like where Bryce's power has actually come from and like where her ancestors have come from, and that's really interesting. I feel like I do need to possibly reread that chapter because there was a lot of information there and I don't think I picked up fully on everything. So I'm going to reread that chapter probably, but I am really loving it. Like it's so good. I have like 60 pages to get to part 2, so I definitely think I'll be able to read that tonight. There was also a scene earlier where Bryce was teaching Nesta how to use a phone and like what like photographs were and stuff, and that was just absolutely hilarious. I love that so much. Okay besties, it is now Saturday and I want to give you a little reading update. I haven't honestly read as much as I wanted to over the past couple of days because I've been working and I don't ever really have the attention span to read when I come home from like a day of work. So I didn't really read Thursday or Friday, and my goal was to finish this book tomorrow, so I desperately don't think that that's gonna happen, but we're gonna see. We're gonna try read as much as I possibly can today. I did get up to chapter 28, which is part 2, which was my stopping point for like Wednesday, but listen, we got there in the end. We've had like a couple of revelations in the past couple of chapters, and honestly like there's so much information going on, it's actually hard to remember everything. So I do think I will need to like reread back over some parts maybe when I finish it or something, because if I try to like understand every single word and sentence as I read for the first time, I'm never gonna get through this book. We found out like a little bit about kind of like Thea and like her like history and how like her and Bryce are connected. In the last chapter that I just read, Bryce just like opened the portal to leave the Akatar world and go back to Midgard. I don't know what's about to happen. I really don't like the way that that ended. I hope that she either goes back or they go with her or something, because I'm not loving the fact that Nesta and Azriel and all of the Akatar characters hate Bryce right now and think that she's like a villain, because that's just not the vibe. If I'm getting like an SJM like multiverse, I need all of the characters to be like best friends. So I'm not loving how that ended, and I don't feel like that portion of the story is over, so that's okay. The whole thing is just like a very info dumpy, and it's not that I'm not liking it, it's just that it's a lot. Also, Ethan killed Sigrid, which is interesting. I know that it was an accident or whatever, but that was jarring to say the least. I'm liking it, but I'm not like completely obsessed with it at the moment, which is kind of sad because I thought that I would be. But I feel like it's very dense. Like there's a lot going on and there's a lot of information, and I'm not sure how I'm vibing with that. But yeah, so today, as I said, is Saturday. It is currently about 2 p.m. Already this morning I went for a coffee and a scone with my best friend, and we just had like a little catch up. Obviously then I came home and I actually am getting my nails done later, so that is going to take like a portion of my evening, but once I come home from that, I do have like the rest of the evening to read and relax and stuff. So I do want to get through a lot of this today, and I can read up until I have to leave at like 4 p.m. So I'm on page 270. I would like to get to page 400 today. I feel like that would be okay. Then I would be halfway through the book, and then tomorrow I could read a good amount and then try and finish it on Monday, because I want to do a separate vlog next week and I want to be able to like read other books, because I feel like this is just not the vibe. And also like I'm going away for a couple of days next week and I want to again do a vlog, but like I'm not going to read this or bring this with me, so I want to finish this book ASAP. I have actually been reading it on my Kindle a good bit because I don't know, it's just easier to get through on my Kindle, and I'm struggling to physically read it and I'm struggling to annotate it as well. So I think I may honestly just quit the annotating for the moment and maybe I'll like go back over it or something. I don't know, maybe I won't, but I'm just not vibing with the annotations right now, so I'm just not going to do that. But yeah, that's my update for right now, and I'm going to just get straight into reading and I'll get back to you. Hi besties. Okay, it's now Tuesday night and I read a good bit more of House of Flame and Shadow, and I want to give you my updated reading update. I realise I've kind of been slacking with this vlog towards like the second half of the book. So much is happening and so much information we're like finding out, and like everything's happening so quickly that I'm like, I actually don't know what I want to talk about, and I don't really want to give any of my thoughts because I don't really have thoughts. Like I don't know where this book is going. I'm like, I don't know, but I don't know what to say. It's kind of like a head empty no thoughts type situation, because like I'm reading it but like, am I picking up on what's being put down? I don't know. But anyways, I am very close to the end right now. I've just gotten up to chapter 80, which is page 682. I've literally got like 150 pages left. It is already like 12:30 at night, so I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this book tonight, but I do think I'm going to read like another 5 chapters to get up to page 700, and then I will only have like 130 pages to read tomorrow, which I feel like I can do because the last 100 pages is always so intense. But yeah, I don't really have anything to say. Like shit is hitting the fan and like a lot is happening. We had another cameo from Nesta, which slayed. Love that her and Bryce kind of had that like bonding moment and Nesta gave her the mask and stuff. There's literally just too much has happened for me to talk about, so I'm just not going to talk about any of it, because I'm assuming if you're watching this video you've read the books, so we both know what's happened. We just don't need to communicate about it basically. I have pretty much switched to reading it exclusively on my Kindle because I don't know why I'm just having such a hard time focusing on this book and like getting through this book. And I don't know if it's like that I'm not loving the book, because I don't think that's the case. Like I am loving the book, but I think it's a case of like I really want to finish it, but like also like I never want this book to be over, because I'm like, this is it. And also like it's a Sarah J Maas book and I feel like you can't rush those books, especially because we only get one like every 2 years. So I don't want it to be over, but then I'm like, but I need to film other vlogs, I need to do other things, and I can't like read this book forever. Like I need to finish this book, but also I don't want to rush through it. I definitely don't think it is my favorite out of the series though, and also not vibing with Hunt. Can't lie, like I am not vibing with Hunt. Also I think that this is the last Crescent City book, like from their perspective. Like I think this is the end of Bryce and Hunt's story, because like low-key if it wasn't, I would be all for a new love interest for Bryce. Like I'm not even gonna lie, like I would be okay with that. I'm not rooting for him right now. Like he's not doing anything exclusively bad, but like I don't know, I'm not Hunt's biggest fan right now. Like I don't know, I think if you've read the book you might know what I mean. Like there's been a few things where I'm like, my man is not supportive, my man is not giving right now. Like he's not giving what needs to be given. But Bryce is obviously a badass. Sarah and Lucy, who I was reading the book with kind of like pretty much at the same time, they've finished the book now, so I desperately need to finish the book so that I can chat spoilers with them and that we can like chat spoilers together basically. That's kind of my update for right now. I definitely do want to finish this book tomorrow because I'm going to Dublin on Thursday for the Noah Kahan concert. I'm not going to bring this book with me. Hi besties. Okay, it's now Friday night and I've just gotten back from Dublin. I went to the Noah Kahan concert yesterday, which was so slay. Like I literally had the best time. I don't know if I've put the concert footage into this vlog or if I've put that into another vlog, but I did take some videos and I did like vlog the trip a little bit, so I may have put that into this vlog, I don't know. But yeah, I've just gotten home and I am exhausted. Like I literally could easily fall asleep, and I had like the worst journey home. Like it literally should have taken us like an hour to get home, and it took us like 6, because basically like we were rushing for our train. We made the train and then we were sitting on the train and it wasn't moving, and we were kind of like, oh my god. And then they came over the speakers. They were like, hey, like there's been like a freight train that broke down on the tracks and we're not going to be able to take you to where you want to go. We're going to bring you to this other place. And we're like, but we can't go to this other place because like, how do we get home? So me and my friend had to get off the train, and then we needed to wait 2 hours for a bus because this was the next way home. The bus was like 2.5 hours, which just felt like so long, and we were so tired at this stage and hungry and just not vibing. It was a very long journey, but I'm home now and I'm in my bed and I'm so comfy, and I'm going to finish House of Flame and Shadow because I really want to finish this book tonight. So I'm literally just going to lie down, play some music and read this book. I don't think I'm going to give you too many updates as I read because I'm really not feeling like vlogging right now. I just want to read and I want to finish this book because I want to do like a readathon this weekend because I'm off this weekend. I want to do a readathon and I want to have this book finished before I start the readathon. So yes, that is my update for right now. Hi besties. Okay, it is now Saturday and I have just finished House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas, and I want to give you like my final thoughts, give you my wrap up, give you my rating, have a final chat about it before I end out this vlog. So I finished it. It did take me a while to read, like I've been reading it for like nearly 2 weeks, but I kind of knew that it would take me that length because one, it's like over 800 pages and like I've been working, I've been going to things, I went to a concert, so like I didn't have unlimited time to just sit and read, unfortunately. So I knew that it would take me that length, so that's not necessarily a reflection of the book. But yeah, I hate the fact that I'm about to say what I'm about to say, but this book was a huge disappointment for me. I didn't really like it, which I can't believe that I'm saying that sentence about a Sarah J Maas book, or like a book that literally had Crescent City characters and ACOTAR characters in the same book. Now, when I say I'm disappointed by it, like I still have so much love for it simply because these characters and this world and the writing just means so much to me, and like I love it as much as I can love a Sarah J Maas book. And I've always said like literally these characters could be doing absolutely nothing and I would still like the book, and like that does still stand. I'm either going to give this book a 5-star rating just for the vibes or no rating, because I feel like I can't rate it less than 5 stars, which I know is so silly Billy because like it wasn't a 5-star book in enjoyment levels, but like I don't think you understand like how much these characters mean to me. Like Bryce and Hunt, they're everything, but like also like Nesta and Cassian and Azriel and Rhysand and Amren, like they were all in here, and that's just so special to me and so important to me because like ACOTAR, it just means so much to me. I'm trying to like put all my thoughts together in a coherent way, but honestly I don't think that I can, because I don't really know what the fuck happened in this book. Like I know what happened in it, but I don't know what happened in it, and I don't think I enjoyed any of it, but like also I did. And like it didn't feel like I just read 800 and something pages, but like I did. But like what did we achieve? What do we now know? I'm not really sure. I feel like I'm gonna have to read like some reviews on this, watch some other people's vlogs on this, and like pick up on things that maybe I missed as I was reading it for the first time. I feel like my favorite part of this book was Lydia and Ruin's story. I love them so much, and I really hope that we get to see more of them in future books. Also, is this the last Crescent City book? I don't know. Like it feels like it very final, so I feel like yes, this is the last Crescent City book, but also I'm like, I thought there was going to be so many Crescent City books. Like why is this the last one? Why did I not know that this was the last one going in? I do think it is the last one from Bryce and Hunt's perspective, and honestly I'm not mad about that because I think Bryce and Hunt just, they don't do it for me quite as much as her other main characters have done it for me, even though I love them so much and Bryce is a badass. There was a lot more humour in this book than there has been in like the other 2 books, and I loved kind of like the elements of like real life and like the human world incorporated in this. Like that's quite fun, that's quite interesting. I know that the next book that Sarah J Maas is releasing is the next ACOTAR book, which I don't feel like too much has been changed for the next ACOTAR book, which is good because I was kind of worried that like by Bryce being there would change the like course of the next ACOTAR book, and I didn't think that that was fair for people who had not read this series, that like the ending of Silver Flames didn't match up with the next one, but I feel like it will, and that's okay. I feel like I loved the way that the book wrapped up. I do think that the book wrapped up really, really well, but it was like the rest of the book that kind of let it down. I don't know, like there were some moments that I absolutely loved it, but then there was others where I was just like, I don't care. And I don't think I've ever felt that about a Sarah J Maas book before. Like I literally do not care, and I feel so bad about that because I'm like, this is like my favorite series, this is like my favorite worlds, but I don't care. Like I do not care, and I don't care about this book. Like this book was like a huge letdown. I don't know if like that's an unpopular opinion or a popular opinion, I don't know, but I think I have heard a few people say that they didn't like it, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know. I also feel like there wasn't enough answers for certain things. Like we still don't know why Ruin and Rhys were connected. We still don't know why Amren looks like Fury. We don't know why Azriel, who did Azriel look like? Was it Azriel that looked like Ruin? I can't remember, but like we don't know why that happened. I assume we're gonna find that out in the next ACOTAR book. Maybe they were just like setting us up for that, but like I wanted to know. Also, I know I said at the beginning, or I think I said at the beginning, that I had a feeling that like Aelin was gonna show up. She did not, and I'm not sorry that she didn't, because honestly I feel like that would have just ruined everything, because I didn't like the way that these stories were incorporated. But like I think there was a connection to Throne of Glass, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm so bad at picking up like these like small little like hints and stuff, but Lydia, when she like accessed her full power, she had like the fire power, which is obviously what Aelin has. And then also she said that she named her son Brannon after like her ancestor, and like Brannon was in Throne of Glass, like he was related. Was he related to Dorian or was he related to Aelin? I don't know, but like I know that Brannon was in Throne of Glass, so there was that link, which maybe in future books with like if Lydia and Ruin are getting a book, that might be touched on. I don't know. I feel like there was no consequences to anyone's actions either. Like no one died. Also, what the fuck happened to Sigrid? Like she just disappeared off the face of the earth. I feel like there was so many open endings, or like things that like we started and then we wondered about and then they weren't actually like answered by the end of the book, and like everything wrapped up really well, but like almost too well. Like there was no consequences for anything. Bryce traded her soul, but now she has her soul back, and like obviously I'm happy she has her soul back, but also I'm like there's no consequence. Like everything just worked out really well for everyone, which obviously that's good, but like I feel like it's unrealistic, you know? Like someone surely had to die, but nobody died. And like even when like people died in the book, they fucking kept coming back, and I'm like, okay, but like if you all can die and come back, why can't you just bring Danica back? Like why can't we do this? Because Lydia died, she was revived. Bryce died, she was revived. Like so many people fucking died and they just came straight back, and I'm like, okay, so like why couldn't we have done this with Danica and the Pack of Devils? Like why couldn't we have done that? I don't understand. And yeah, I feel like I'm actually kind of mad and I'm kind of disappointed in this book, and I feel like I'm gonna just stop talking because I don't necessarily have anything good to say about it, but also I don't want to keep hating on it, because it's not that I didn't enjoy it. Like I enjoyed it as much as I would enjoy a fantasy book, but I didn't love it the way that I should love a Sarah J Maas book, if that makes sense. Will I rate it 5 stars? Probably. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. Was it even moderately good? I'm still undecided, but I will probably still give it 5 stars because for the vibes, you know? But yeah, no, I read this book. I'm glad that I read this book. I'm glad that I vlogged this book. Maybe my thoughts on this will change as I like read people's reviews, or as I like look more into what things meant, because I did read this book not like reading into everything because there was so much information, and that's something that I feel like is in the Crescent City series that's not in like her other series. It's just so info dumpy and so wordy, and I know that this is like urban fantasy, which I don't know if I vibe with. It is an adult series where her others were YA, so like maybe that counts for something. Like maybe it's just more complicated. There was definitely some parts of this where I was like, you know what, I just need to like read the words that I'm being given and think about what they mean later, which is never the vibe because I don't like doing that. But yeah, I've literally talked for like nearly 12 minutes, so I'm gonna stop talking right now. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments, but maybe try keep the comments spoiler free. If you want to do spoilers, DM me on Instagram and I will happily talk spoilers with you, or like if you have any like theories or like anything that like maybe you picked up on that I've not picked up on, definitely DM me on Instagram because I would love to know. And like I didn't dislike it. I'm not saying that I disliked it. I'm just saying that like out of all of the Sarah J Maas books, this one was a slight letdown, and I feel like after waiting 2 years for it, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's done. Still really glad that I read this book. I actually don't know if I'm going to give it a rating on Goodreads because I don't want to rate it less than 5 stars, but also it was not a 5-star book, so we'll see. I love Sarah J Maas books. I love the Crescent City world. I'm glad that like things worked out the way they worked out. The the ending was very wholesome, and I loved the way that like we left Nesta. I love Bryce's parents. Like there's so many good things to this book that I just loved, and there were so many times throughout this book where it was just heartwarming, and Lydia and her sons and Ruin, like they deserve the world. There's so many amazing things in this book. I love the characters, and I trust in Sarah J Maas, so I feel like maybe the things that were left unanswered are going to be answered in future books. But yeah, that is all I have to say about this book. I'm really glad that I read it. Thank you for watching this vlog. If you watched to the end, comment the fire emojis. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Let me know if you read the book. Let me know what you thought of the book, what you rated the book, everything like that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay amazing, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!